Hi, and welcome back to Learn to Play the Violin with me, where I play the role of both teacher and student and kind of let you in behind the scenes on how the process works of learning a brand new instrument. So thanks for playing with me. Make sure you're tuned, and then we'll pick right back up where we left off. Okay, timer is started, and we are going to continue on number 34 on page 12 of the Essential Elements Violin 1 book. So we were learning Natalie's Rose, and last lesson, that's my special guest Hazel, by the way, in case you can see her on the screen. I'm sure she'll be popping in and out like she was last lesson. So we had just tried playing number 34 the whole way through. And at least for me, it was by no means perfect. So there were a couple things that I took note of that I want to review, at least for myself, and I want you to come along with me. The very first thing is moving from line 1 to line 2. So we are going from the A string to the D string. We finish up line 1 with an open A, which remember is the third string down. And then the next note, we only one beat of rest to get ready for the F sharp, which is 2 fingers down on the D string. So we have to make sure that our eyes are kind of moving ahead of our fingers and our brains so that we know what's coming up next and it doesn't catch us off guard. So let's try measure number 4 with B and A. Let's try that first. Ready? B, B, ready, play. B, B, A, rest. Let's try that one more time. Ready, play. B, B, A, rest. Now let's go to F sharp. Let's do line number 5. So F sharp, 2 fingers. Ready, play. F sharp, G, A. Oh man, my F sharp was way flat, sorry. A, G, F sharp, here it is. Ready, play. F sharp, G, A, rest. Let's try that measure number 5 one more time. Ready, play. F sharp, G, A, rest. Good. Now we are going to put together line measure number 4 and measure number 5, starting on B, and then we'll move down to line 2 for measure 5. All right, starting on B, measure 4. Ready, play. B, B, A, rest. F sharp, G, A, rest. Let's try that again. My F sharp was a little bit flat. All right, here we go. Ready, play. B, B, A, rest. F sharp, G, A. I'm not putting my fingers up high enough, my second finger high enough on that D string, and my F sharp keeps coming out flat. So what I'm singing isn't matching what I'm playing, so I have to make sure that I adjust that. Let's try that one more time for my benefit. Here we go, starting on B. Ready, play. B, B, A, rest. F sharp, G, A, rest. There we go. Okay, good. And if you have something like that, something little that kind of keeps not working for you, feel free to pause to kind of drill on that one little thing until it becomes easier for you, and then you can hit play and continue on. All right, let's now review by playing line number 1. So measures 1 through 4, starting on open D. Ready, play. D, D, E, G, F sharp, G, A, rest. F sharp, G, A, B, B, A, rest. Good. Let's try that one more time. Remember the bracket, so keep those 2 fingers down for the F sharp. Make sure that you are curving your fingers enough so that your fingers aren't touching the A string so it doesn't mute that string. Ready, play. D, D, E, G, F sharp, G, A, rest. F sharp, G, A, B, B, A, rest. All right, let's try line number 2, starting with F sharp. F sharp, here we go. Ready, play. F sharp, G, A, rest. G, A, B, rest. A, B, C sharp, D, D, D. Good. My high D is a little bit sharp, so I was putting my third finger a little too high, so I slid it back a little bit for that second D, so it was more in pitch. All right, let's try the whole thing. Before we do, one more time, let's just play measures 4 and 5 so that we can practice moving without adding extra beats, moving from line 1 all the way down to line 2. Here we go. Starting with B. No. There we go. B. Here we go, measures 4 and 5. Ready, play. B, A, rest. F sharp, G, A, rest. There's a lot going on in those two measures. Good. And if you have a pencil handy, feel free to write in your book. Hopefully you have this book. It's just really useful to write notes in it. For example, you could write like an F sharp in like after measure number 4 to remind you even a split second earlier that F sharp is coming up next. So you could circle something. Whenever I practice a piece and I'm working through something and there's a particular couple notes or couple measures or couple beats that are giving me trouble, I will, in the moment, I'll put brackets around it, and then I know to come back to it. And also, like, if I go to practice and I only have 10 or 15 minutes or something, I know, okay, I'm going to practice only the bracketed parts. And then as I get them better, and they're smoother and they're not an issue for me anymore, then I'll erase the brackets until hopefully there are no more brackets. So those are just some tips and tricks as we move through the practice, as we practice practicing. All right, here we go. Let's try the entirety of number 34, Natalie's Rose, starting on open D. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. D, D, E, G, F sharp, G, A, rest. F sharp, G, A, B, B, A, rest. F sharp, G, A, rest. G, A, B, rest. A, B, C sharp, D, 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 rest. How'd it go? Great. Let's move on. We are going to skip number 35. You can do that if you own the book and you would like to. It's creating words out of the notes of the treble clef staff. We are going to move together to page number 13, number 36, dreidel. This is exciting stuff because you probably know this song. I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. So playing a piece of music or a song that you know always, one, makes it fun because you are more aware when you get it right. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm actually playing a song that I know. And two, you know what to anticipate. So you know easier because you know the melody of the song. You know if you're playing the right note or the wrong note. It's easier to tell. So this is that I Have a Little Dreidel song. We are going to, it's 3 lines, yay! So we are now getting, our songs are getting longer. That's great. We are looking at all of them, just kind of scanning it quickly. So there's nothing new in here. It's quarter notes, it's quarter rests, looks like the highest note that we're playing actually is A, the open A string. So we're actually not touching with our left hand the A string at all because there's no B, C sharp, or high D. So that's awesome. All right, let's try, if you can tell, it's kind of chunked into 4 different sections. Each section goes and then you see 3 quarter rests, like 3 beats of rest, and then the next section will start. And then you'll see 3 quarter rests, next section, 3 quarter rests, last section, 3 quarter rests. So that's how we're gonna chunk it up to learn it. So let's start at the very beginning. We're gonna play up through measure number 4, so that first chunk. Let's start with open D. We're gonna start really nice and slow. Remember, speed is is like the last thing that you should be adding on, because you need to develop muscle memory and play it correctly so that your brain and your fingers are learning the correct way that the music is written. So doing that slowly allows your brain, your hands, your eyes to have time to all sync up together. Here we go. Let's try open D. We're going to try the first 4 measures. 1, 2, ready, play. D, D, E, E, F sharp, D, rest. F sharp, A, G, F sharp, E, rest, rest, rest. Okay, a few things to practice here. Let's look at measure number 2. So this rhythm, actually, I'm not sure if we've come across this rhythm yet. So it's quarter note, rest, quarter note. So that rest is on beat 3, so it's a little unusual. Let's try just measure number 2. So it's F sharp, D, rest, F sharp. Let's try that. Measure 2, ready, play. F sharp, D, rest, F sharp. Good, one more time. Ready, play. F sharp, D, rest, F sharp. Pause. Okay, I'm back. We are all settled. That was Gary. He was just telling the neighborhood hi for the millionth time today. Here we go. Oh, million and 2 times. Gary, no thank you. All right, I'm starting the timer. Here we go. Oh, hello, Miss Hazel. Oh, have I told you how much I love dogs? Thank you. All right, don't remember where we are, but let's start at the beginning and play the first 4 measures. Here we go. Measure number 1, open D. Ready, play. D, D, E, E, F sharp, D, rest. F sharp, A, G, F sharp, E, rest, rest, rest. Remember, the bracket is keeping the 2 fingers down for the F sharp, and you might notice, fun fact, you might notice that the first F sharp, you might be confused because you don't see a sharp in front of that F. That is because on beat 1 of measure number 2 is the F sharp, and accidentals, sharps, flats, and naturals, they last for an entire measure and they reset at the beginning of every new measure, which is why that second F does not have a sharp written in front of it, but it is still an F sharp. If they wanted an F natural there, they would put a natural sign which cancels out the sharp, or a natural also cancels out a flat. But in this case, even though you don't see a sharp, that is still an F sharp there, 2 fingers. All right, let's move on to measure number 5, and we'll play 5, 6, 7, and 8, so the next chunk of music. For measure 5, we're starting on an E, right, Hazel? We're starting on E, which is 1 finger on the D string. E. Let's try measure 5 through 8. Nice and slow. 1, 2, ready, play. E, E, F sharp, G, E, rest. E, A, G, F sharp, E, F sharp, rest, rest, rest. Let's try that again. Measure 5, starting on E, which is 1 finger. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. E, E, F sharp, G, E, rest. E, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, F sharp. Are you pointing out the fact that I accidentally said G sharp? Oops, I meant just regular G. Let's try that one more time, starting on E, measure 5. Ready, play. E, E, F sharp, G, E, rest. E, A, G, F sharp, E, F sharp, rest, rest, rest. All right, let's put those first 2 chunks together. So we'll play measure 1 through measure 8 where we just ended. Here we go, nice and slow, so that our brain can process everything that our hands are doing. 1, 2, ready, play. D, D, E, E, F F sharp, D, rest. F sharp, A, G, F sharp, E, rest, rest, rest. E, F sharp, G, E, rest. E, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, F sharp. I don't know why I keep saying that. I keep saying G sharp. You know what I mean. It's a G. All right. Good job. So hopefully that went smoothly for you. If you want to keep practicing that, or if you even want to move ahead and try the second half of this song, especially if you know the melody already, feel free to do it. We're going to do it together on the next time I see you, which is the next lesson, and I can't wait till then. Bye.